Hey everybody, I'm Creed, and this is Creed Saturday Morning, Episode 9. Today what I'm working on is the villain Teron from the Mighty Hercules. Now we're going to do something just a little bit different here. If you don't know who Teron is, or haven't seen the Mighty Hercules, I'm going to put the link up to the full episode. It's 4 minutes and 50 seconds long, and what I'd advise is just pause this video, click the link, watch the episode, and come on back, so then you'll know who he is. And of course you need your annotations turned on in order for the links to work. I promise not to abuse the annotations and put them all over this video. So that's just an option, and if you want you can actually just watch it afterwards. I'll put the link in the description. So with this piece I wanted to focus a little bit more on my pencils. I usually don't put the pencils too much in the video, just a couple of scans. Now I don't have a camera set up that would let me record my pencils yet, and that could be kind of a stormy process that I think having a camera on it might slow that down. Plus that's the most fragile part of the process, and I'm not sure if a camera would help me or hinder me there. But what I've done is I've taken more scans than usual of my process. So here's one of my original sketches, and you'll notice what I do is I'm not really building structure like a lot of people do. I just want to get the lines in the right place. So I don't really, a lot of people do almost like a wireframe of the character. I don't really work that way because I want to put down exactly where the line's going to be, and if it's too sketchy, then that's not pinpointed down for me. If I sketch a line, this is almost the only part I really do really lightly, and a lot of these lines have been erased and redrawn and erased and redrawn. But I'm happy with the placement of the lines on this first sketch, so let's take a look at the second one. And I notice a lot of other people do their pencils sort of overall at the same time, and that has a lot of benefits. That way you're gonna head more towards the final product. But the way I do it is more like taking a line for a walk, and that works really well for me, except when it doesn't. Sometimes this drawing part by part and spreading out, you might do a part wrong, and then later on you'll see it and you'll be like, oh, now I have to erase all this dark stuff. And it's one of the huge benefits of digital. If I went through and I found out that his head was all wrong after I finished the whole thing, I can just go in digitally and change that now. In the old days I would have had a lot of pieces I would have probably just abandoned from erasing too many times, and then you don't want to draw on that part anymore. So yeah, I usually don't draw overall. I draw part by part, taking a line for a walk. So I start with his face, and then the next one, there we go, we got his head done, and then head and shoulders. And it's around this point in the drawing that I know this is probably going to work out, because I got the vibe going. And I don't know exactly what that vibe is or how to get it, but I know when I have it and I know when I don't. So even in this early stage, I'm pretty confident with these pencils that it's going to work out awesomely. And then here I'm adding some structure, and I get his hands worked in there. And there we go. So there's the finished pencils on Teron, and I'm very happy with it. He's coming out of Pandora's box, just like the cartoon. And this character was only in one episode, but it really stuck with me, especially because when he goes into the mist, the way he's drawn, just in outline with his eyes, really stayed in my head for when I was a little kid and I saw this. And his voice is really like gruff and angry, and I really remember he's a very memorable character, at least to me. And there have been many versions of Hercules over time. To me, the Mighty Hercules is always the Hercules. So the Mighty Hercules ran for 128 5-minute episodes from 1963 to 1966. Now, I saw these in reruns in the 80s, and I always thought that this was an 80s cartoon. But no, it's more classic than that. So the episode starts with Zeus calling Hercules to do a job for him. And he tells him, he says, take this dreaded box of Pandora, which contains Teron, the evil spirit of destruction, and dump it in the everlasting whirlpool. But then he becomes kind of a jerk to Hercules, because he's like, and if you fail in this, I'm going to take your ring. And Hercules in this cartoon, that's his power. He puts his ring on and he has power. When he doesn't, he has none. So, so Zeus is being quite a jerk here. I mean, he gets pretty serious, like, do this job, but if you fail, you're screwed. I think Hercules should have said something about that, but anyway. So Hercules starts his mission, and now here's where cartoons used to not really write too well for women sometimes. And in this one, it's Helena who just kind of absent-mindedly, out of being nosy, lets Teron out of the box. And that's a little corny, but I mean, that's from the time, I guess. Now, the Mighty Hercules isn't out on disc, which is really sad. It should be. There's a best of, which has a few episodes, and actually I've found a few online myself looking around, and there are some here on YouTube, and I'll put a link to the whole playlist I found in the description. And as I was reading about the show, I found out that a lot of the music in the show that you would recognize as from the Mighty Hercules, it's from a 1954 movie called The Black Shield of Falworth. And I actually checked out the movie. I don't think I watched the whole thing. It's not that great. It's not really my kind of movie. But I skipped around, and yeah, that's where Mighty Hercules music is all through that thing. So if you're a really huge Mighty Hercules fan, you might want to give that movie a look. It's interesting anyway. So this is cartoon villain number 80 in my ongoing collection. So I have 20 left to my original goal of 100, which I will definitely surpass now. And this guy is kind of obscure, but like I said, the lucky thing is the episode is on YouTube. Anybody can watch it and enjoy it and say, yes, this guy is kick-ass. I understand why you added him to the villain. He should be in there. He's one of my favorite Mighty Hercules villains. And he's actually, I'd have to say he's the most interesting looking Hercules villain, because I mean, okay, you have Wilhelmine, who's kind of a sour looking woman with a parrot. Daedalus is a guy in a hood with a mustache. The Mask of Vulcan is a guy with a metal bucket on his head. And these are all cool characters. They're just not as visually interesting as Teron. So I've had a really great time watching some old episodes of the Mighty Hercules. It's such a great show, and it brings back memories that I forgot were even in there. Because when I was watching this, I was really small. It's just on the edge of being forgotten to me. And then when you watch it, you remember the backgrounds, you remember the style of animation, Newton's annoying repeating voice. It's just a really great cartoon, and it's classic and nostalgic. Now, speaking of nostalgia, I wanted to mention something really cool that I discovered lately. I'm always in the search for new entertainment, and ever since I've become a creator here on YouTube, I've really dug deep into YouTube and used it as an entertainment source a lot more. And besides art videos, and I really appreciate that it's so far it's mostly artists who watch and subscribe. Hey guys. But aside from art videos, I've started watching unboxing videos, and which I used to think were, oh, I'm getting something in the mail. Oh, I got speakers for my computer. Let's open them and look at them. That's not very interesting to me. So then I discovered that there are services out there that will send you a monthly mystery box by subscription. So you sign up for, whatever it is. It's $20 a month, $30 a month. And the box has a theme. So there's Nerd Block, there's Horror Block, Loot Crate, different ones like that. And so I've been watching some of these, and some of them have some really cool things in them that I like, and about half of them have stuff I don't like. So So it's the kind of thing where I like to watch, but I probably wouldn't get it, because I could get the stuff myself if I was looking for it. But recently I found there's a service starting of retro boxes, and this Saturday morning channel is actually pretty retro, and I thought if you like this stuff, you might also be interested in these boxes. And this isn't an ad. This isn't. I don't even have an affiliate link with these people. But I will put the link just because I think it's so super cool. They have retro 70s, retro 80s, and retro 90s boxes that you can sign up for. Now the 80s is my wheelhouse. I mean, that looks really, really good. Actually, out of the 3 different months I've seen unboxed, 2 are excellent and 1 is okay, which is about fair for those subscription services. So I discovered these watching Jay and Mix over on a channel called Unboxing Rocks, and I'll put their link in the description. These guys themselves, even if there's nothing interesting in the box, they're super entertaining to watch. I love to watch their show. More than half their stuff is Funko Pop stuff, which I'm not really into Funko Pops at all. I'm going to put a link to one of their 80s retro box unboxings so you can check it out. And this is just if you're interested. Like I said, I don't have any affiliate link. I'm not making anything here. I just think it's something cool I wanted to point out. If you're interested in retro things like Creed Saturday Morning, then you might be interested in one of those retro boxes. So check those out because it's super cool. And I'm actually not a console gamer anymore. But the other cool thing I found this week, there are services. There's a couple, but because there's one called Old School Crate. And it's one of the coolest things I could ever imagine if I was still a console gamer. And I'm actually not a console gamer anymore, just due to addiction issues. If I had an old school console, none of these videos would be made, none of this art would be made, no food would be eaten, no air would be breathed. There would only be gaming. So that's the whole reason I don't let myself own a console. But this Old School Crate, it has four different tiers, and you tell them what system you have. If you have let's say you have Super Nintendo and Nintendo, then they ask what games you have, and they'll send you something that you don't have. You don't know what it's going to be, but and the boxes are anywhere from 3 games to 10 games. So you get old games. It blew my mind when I saw that. And for many gamer friends I have who are trying to find retro cartridges and stuff, I know it's super hard to find good ones at a reasonable price. And I mean, their lowest tier is $30 for 3 games. That's $10 a game. And you could get something you're looking for. You could just get something you don't have already. It looks really, really great. It's almost evil enough to tempt me back into console gaming. So if I ever completely vanish off the internet, you'll be like, I think he got a console. I guess we'll never see him again. But I have too much creativity that I need to get out there. So I don't think I'll be tempted too much to get a console and disappear from the world. Just in case you're a gamer, I'm gonna put the link for Old School Crate here too. That's very retro and super awesome. Yeah, so unboxing videos weren't exactly what I thought they were. I always thought that was pretty lame. Oh yeah, you ordered something from Amazon, I don't need to see you open it. But no, these mystery crates, and there are some really, really cool ones. Why most of them don't completely appeal to me is a lot of them guarantee a t-shirt and it has something cool on it, but I do not wear clothes that have artwork or words on them. Actually, my wardrobe is always the picture of me I use at the start, where I'm wearing a black shirt and black pants. That's what I wear. All I own is black shirts and black pants. So even though they always have cool shirts, I don't wear shirts that say things on them. and some of them also guarantee that you get a Funko Pop in the box. And if I don't like Funko Pop and I don't like a t-shirt, then that's two guaranteed things that I won't like. So that's why I like watching these, because then sometimes the rest of the stuff is really cool. But the box probably wouldn't be for me if it has those two guarantees in it. But those 70s, 80s, and 90s crates, they do still have shirts, but all the rest of the stuff looks so cool that I'd love to get interested in that, although that could be an addiction itself. But it's just something cool that I found this week that I just wanted to share with you guys, because you may be retro fans. If you tune in to watch me draw Teron from the Mighty Hercules, you might be interested in some cool retro products. And most of the work in this one was the line work, because he is just purple with a darker purple beard. So it's not any really fancy coloring or anything. And then I just put sort of a swampy shot from a cartoon in the background, changed it up, recolored it, etc., etc. And then of course I'll put the full body in my archives in case I need it for something else. But I recrop it down to match my villains format. And now that I only have 20 villains left to get to 100, I have to start deciding, because I decided when I was coming up on 50, I wanted 50 to be somebody special. So I did Skeletor for number 50, who was a big heavy hitter. I'm thinking, because I've already drawn the shriveled version of Mum-Ra, I think maybe the powerful version of Mum-Ra might make a good 100. So I'm trying to plan out the next 20, and actually then now I feel a little bit of a push to finish this and get to 100. So you should see a little more frequency of cartoon villains mixed into my art. I really hope you have watched or will watch that episode of the Mighty Hercules, because this drawing is pretty cool, and you can go, hey, well, he's pretty cool. But it's 10 times cooler if you know who he is. And if you instantly know who he is, you're my kind of cartoon fan. This guy has stuck with me for a long time, from one 5-minute episode I saw when I was like 5. So there's Teron from the Mighty Hercules. And even though, like I said, some of the other villains are plain looking from the Mighty Hercules, I think I will be drawing them. So I mentioned a lot of stuff in this episode, so make sure to check the description for all of these links, and it's all cool stuff. So this has been our Fan Art Friday edition of Saturday morning, and make sure you tune in on Tuesday for our next scheduled video. And actually, there might be some off-schedule videos as surprises here and there. You'll have to wait and see. So thanks so much for tuning into my little channel here, and have a great day. Well, thanks for watching to the end. I really appreciate it. Here's a couple of videos you might want to watch. I made them myself. You never know what I'll draw next. You might want to subscribe to keep up. I'd really appreciate a thumbs up or a thumbs down, depending on how you feel. And until next time, take her easy.